Hey there, folks. Welcome to Premeditated Fiction. I am RJ Beam. Today we are reviewing Bum Deal by Paul Levine. Welcome back to Premeditated Fiction. RJ Beam, and I am reviewing Paul Levine's newest novel, Bum Deal. This is a book in his Jake Lassiter series of attorney fiction, where former NFL player Jake Lassiter has turned into an attorney, and he was not a star player by any stretch of the imagination, and so now as an attorney, a guy who, if I remember the line right, only took the bar exam 3 or 4 times to pass it. So he's an okay attorney, not exactly a stellar person. As it relates to his skills, whether on the field or in the courtroom. But he's good enough, he's got a good enough reputation. In this particular story, Lassiter has been asked to not be a defense attorney like he normally is, so he's not trying to get a client off. He's actually been asked to come in and be a prosecutor. In this particular case, a young woman has gone missing. Her husband is suspected of killing her and disposing of her body. And the young woman's family has some ties to the local district attorney or state's attorney's office. So nobody in the state's attorney's office can prosecute the case. So Jake is brought in as a special prosecutor because he has no conflict of interest. Of course, it just so happens that the defense attorneys for the husband are Jake's 2 best friends. As a matter of fact, Steve Solomon, one of the attorneys representing the defendant in this case, Jake is about to be the best man at his wedding. So there's a little conflict there that goes on in the courtroom. Really kind of one of those stories that quite original. You've got this lady missing, she's presumed dead, and now we're moving ahead with a homicide trial where there is no body. We don't actually know if she's dead. In many states you can do this. You can actually allege that somebody's dead and move forward with a murder trial. So what ends up happening here is there's some investigation into the case where Jake is assigned it. He's not sure whether or not he's got enough to prosecute, so he's got to build up his case. Once he's built up his case, we switch gears into the courtroom side, and without giving away any spoilers, the case, everything he's built up starts to get knocked apart. It just seems like stuff is going wrong with his witnesses, and again, I'm not going to give out any spoilers. But you can just imagine where, he's done what he thinks is his due diligence, and it's just like he's taken 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Eventually, by the end of the story, we do find out exactly what happened to the wife, who's guilty, who's innocent, all that fun stuff. Not going to give any spoilers. It's really original. It was one of those stories where I was not sure what was going to be the end of the story the whole way through. And when I finally found the last page, what happened, I smiled. I was happy. I thought this was a really good ending to this story. This was well thought out. There were some good clues within the story, but nothing that, really caused the story to have like crazy twists. It wasn't like, oh, this is the suspect, this is the suspect. You were kind of always working down the road of a couple of things where there was that reasonable doubt where maybe it wasn't a husband, maybe it was this person or this person. There were a few other key people, and you weren't constantly twisting it around. It was constantly just kind of trickling along amongst these possible suspects, and when the final reveal happens, it's very satisfying. And if you were thinking that that's how the story was going to go, which was more or less how I was thinking. There was a few things that made me think that how it ended was about how it was going to end. It was very satisfying. If you weren't thinking that that's how it was going to end, I think you would find it just as satisfying too, because you'd be like, whoa, didn't see that coming. All right, so Bum Deal, Paul Levine, should be available here in June, and I did receive this book as a ARC through NetGalley, an advanced reader copy, in exchange for this unbiased review. Thank you. Bye.